This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Wednesday. My apologies to anyone who may not have heard me like right at the ass end of the show last night. I'm like, that's the stream for today. I'll be back tomorrow night. Ha ha ha. Also, I'm gonna take tomorrow off. Since we're banned on the YouTube and everything. Make with the news and nobody gets hurt. I watched Jank earlier on Pac-Man's stream. And like, he's absurd. Yeah, I'm banned on YouTube for the week up until Sunday. So like Jank said like the stupidest fucking shit, but then also like he made a couple of really good points, and that's what frustrates me. And like one of them is like that's a really original point. That's a take I hadn't heard anybody make. I'm glad to have heard that. But then like he said a whole bunch of stupid shit around it. And the title of his book sounded so goddamn stupid. Because that's what I guess Chank is making the rounds for, like his book tour. But the book sounds like it's, how progressive policies will win and people will like it or some shit. I don't know, Tones, because I kept up with a hell of a lot more than I keep up with TYT. So I'm not exactly sure. I usually don't pay much attention to them. I just saw he and Pac-Man were having a conversation about like if Biden could win. And I was like, I'll give that a shot. Let me listen to it. Let me see what they think. And Jank made some excellent points. I would say there's more doubt in my mind about Biden winning post me listening to him talk about it. Because he was talking about like the incumbent advantage like really doesn't mean anything as a presidential candidate. Because like it's more of a hindrance because you have to take all the shots from everybody. Like that's a pretty good point. And he also made a really good case for like Andy Beshear in Kentucky or Josh. What's his name in Pennsylvania? It's the governor of Pennsylvania. As opposed to Newsom or Whitmer. Newsom or Whitmer would be fine in my book, to be honest with you, in terms of possible presidential picks. If that's the lineup that we've got, if that's the bench that the Democrats have going into like the next cycle and shit, Newsom, Whitmer, Shapiro is Pennsylvania, Beshear in Kentucky. That's a pretty decent group. There have been a hell of a lot worse candidates in my lifetime, so I'll take it. I think Jank was overselling. Like, I don't think Trump is going to win. I think that's kind of impossible. I thought it was impossible in 2016, so I could totally be wrong about that. But like just the idea that Biden can't possibly win when he's already beat the guy that he's running against.
Come on, man.
But conventional wisdom is kind of out the door on this one, is because like, who the fuck knows? We live in wild times. We live in wild times where one of these Kevins successfully defended their house. I'm already hungry. Clinically, that's what I tend to do. If Biden is if Trump is the nominee, that animates Democrats. They'll come out. Biden will get 82 million, 83 million. Trump does not have as much support as he had in the past. Like, I don't think he'll reach, what was it, 73, 72? Kevin McAllister for president. That's your Speaker of the House. Not Macaulay Culkin. Kevin McAllister. Yes, clinically, you are exactly right. Biden didn't win, Trump lost. People voted against Trump. 80 million, 81 million people voted against Trump. And that's what I always say whenever these numbnuts are like, well, you don't see Biden hats everywhere. Biden couldn't get anybody in a rally. I'm like, Trump is like the most hated political figure ever in the history of our country. It's a shame that he holds such sway over the Republicans that he's able to like insert himself into our politics. Might be Speaker of the House. Who knows? We're gonna get his comments. I meant in our country, Warlord, and like. Hitler was kind of popular with some people. Hitler's still kind of popular with some people. Woodrow Wilson was kind of popular with some people. I got something stuck in my teeth and I don't like it. It's pissing me off. I have to go brush my teeth. I wish that I'm already hungry again, and I just ate. I made a whole big meal. I ate at like 7 o'clock. I had a big baked potato and some green beans, and I fried some catfish. Made my own tartar sauce. Fair enough, Tones. I still got some of my truth. Are you talking about, a fantastic fucking man, too, lost against Nixon. That's who you're talking about, George, McGovern. Oh, you could be talking about Mondale. Mondale got trounced. Mondale got trounced by Reagan. You could be talking about either of those. Seatbelt dude, are you talking about Ralph Nader? Yes, you are talking about Ralph Nader is an American goddamn hero. And that's I hate the push. He was on Democracy Now! The other day. I was watching him and Amy Goodman. I don't even remember what they were fucking talking about now. But a lot of people don't know that many of the like warning labels, many of the standards for vehicles and shit that we take for granted today are a direct result of the advocacy of Ralph Nader and his groups. And like, there is a documentary about Ralph Nader. I highly encourage you to go watch it. There is probably not a single person in the history of the country that has done more to benefit Americans than Ralph fucking Nader. And I know a lot of people like to hate on him because of 2000. And yeah, like I get it. I'm not gonna vote shame anybody. I don't think it's wrong to vote third party. I'm not gonna unsafe at any speed. Thank you, DJ Dub. That is correct. I need to watch it again. It's been 15 years. We need a robust democracy. And even that's another thing Chank said with Pac-Man was the Democratic Party is better when it has a competitive primary. In 2016, didn't have that competitive of a primary, didn't have the Democrats out there selling themselves. The Republicans had an incredibly competitive primary, and the Republicans won. The Democrats had a competitive primary in 2020. They won. There is probably not a person who has done more to save American lives. Ralph fucking Nader. American goddamn hero. I mean, Al Gore did win the election in 2000, so like, blaming Ralph Nader for what happened is kind of pointless. Like, I understand the argument. That was one of the things that I said for Bernie was like, we can't let it be close. And that's exactly what happened. Can't let it be close, or the Democrats, the corporatists in the party control the mechanism. They control the party apparatus. They control the rules. So you have to overwhelm them, or otherwise they're going to be able to renege on a nomination of Bernie Sanders. It's exactly what happened. Supreme Court disagree on. Supreme Court sucks. I've had burritos from Taco Bell more supreme than this Supreme Court. I fell asleep after our coverage yesterday. Woke up and ordered Taco Bell. And I don't know why. I woke up. It was like 8:30, 8:45. I woke up. I popped up and just got on the Taco Bell app and ordered Taco Bell. The Supreme Court didn't make a determination on the winner of the election. They stopped the recount. Leaving a lower court's decision in place. The recount should have proceeded, which showed that Al Gore won the fucking election. And there's no reason to hate on Ralph Nader, because Ralph Nader is an American goddamn hero. Speaking of American heroes, we're going to talk about some tonight. Are you guys ready for this? Largest healthcare strike in U.S. history started today. UAW strike expands. We doing labor action, boys. Trump was in court again today for his fraud trial, which is apparently going to last until December. He told us yesterday it's going to be over. It's going to be over. Maybe day before yesterday. I don't know. My days are running together. 80% already over. The judge apparently gave him a smackdown today in court. Rudy Giuliani is suing. I figured it was Hunter Biden, but apparently is suing the president himself, Joe Biden. Interesting move. Was yet again just another day. Multiple shootings in Massachusetts. One last night, one earlier today. I don't think they're related. Then I got a story of a Texas man who I believe was in Nebraska. At a wedding, accidentally shot his grandson. A Black History art exhibit in Florida was vandalized. A black man is claiming that he was wrongfully arrested due to facial recognition software. We have covered stories like that in the past here on the show. The former head of the police union in New York City has decided to give us another good cop. He took it upon himself to give us a good cop. Tennessee businessman was murdered, fatally shot on his way to a high school reunion. You already didn't have to tell me anything else to get me to not want to go to high school reunion. No desire. My friend was talking about like, hey, nobody even contacted me for a high school reunion. And his wife had to remind him he was the fucking class president. It was his job to put together a high school reunion. And he didn't do it. I don't think I was invited to mine. God damn, it was like my 20-year reunion last year. Fuck that shit. Oh, anyway. It's enough to make you want to stomp a windshield. Video out of Philadelphia shows a young man stomping on a windshield. A woman gets out, confronts him. Wild ass video we got. We got all kinds of wild ass video to watch tonight. Remember the young girl that went missing in upstate New York? We were covering the story and they found her while we were covering it. The kidnappers, the alleged kidnapper's son, has actually spoke out about his dad, the dude who tried to kidnap this young girl. Interesting. Had some harsh words for him. Might get me banned from YouTube if I was on YouTube. A school shooter has been, he got let out of jail a couple years back, started a TikTok, advocates for gun control and ways to prevent school shootings, but is apparently setting some people off with the fact that he has a TikTok. Of course this happened in Florida. Man was involved in a hit and run apparently. There was a woman that hit a guy. I think I got this right. And the guy hangs on to the vehicle for 2 miles, and we've got video of it. A judge has dismissed a lawsuit against McDonald's and Wendy's for the size of their meat. A whole bunch of men attended a women's job fair claiming to be non-binary. Got some moving words from a young trans girl. Made a plea for peace at a school board. A New Carolina. Maybe it's Noob Carolina. Noob Carolina. From now on, I dub thee Noob Carolina. Noob Carolina radio station has said that it will not play 6 Met operas over non-biblical and LGBTQ material. Speaking of biblical, pinup girl, porn model, tattoo aficionado, Kat Von D, baptized, giving up the witchcraft apparently. Speaking of witchcraft, Taylor Swift has apparently been using some witchcraft on the Kansas City Chiefs. They've gone 2-0 since they became Swifties. And this has angered a bunch of sporty ball people. All that and a lot freaking more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. Welcome, good evening, 8:20, perfectly. that I'd be done bullshitting by 8:20 and hit it right on the head. Let's get to that news. The big story today, all anybody can talk about is this goddamn phone alert. I've got 2 fucking phones and I didn't even get one.
I only respond when there's an emergency. Nope, there you go. Okay, thanks everybody. I'm just kidding.
On October 4th, hundreds of millions of cell phones across the U.S. received a text message and that alert tone as part of a test of the National Emergency Alert System.
So many of us grew up with the emergency broadcast system, right?
Yeah, it would usually happen like once a week. I think they would test it, and it'd be at like different times throughout the week.
Is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Getting that tone on your TV that interrupted whatever program you were watching. This is just the modern version of that going to people's cell phones.
Nationwide alerts for mobile devices were in the works since the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, but didn't become operational until 2012. Federal law requires the government to conduct a nationwide test at least every 3 years. The purpose of the test is to ensure that the emergency response systems continue to be effective means of warning the public about emergencies. This is the 3rd time FEMA has conducted a wireless nationwide test of all cell phone
Unessential to be kept alive.
tests to all cellular devices.
Getting alerts out promptly to our communities saves lives. That's why FEMA is working with the Federal Communications Commission and your local public safety authorities on this test.
There are 4 different types of wireless emergency alerts. National or presidential alerts, which can only be issued by the president during a national emergency. Imminent threat alerts involving hazards on the local level, like extreme weather. Amber alerts about missing or abducted children. And public safety alerts, which have information about threats that may not be as imminent. More than 1,600 federal, state, and local authorities use what's known as the Integrated Public Alert and
IPAWS.
IPAWS to issue alerts and warnings to people in their jurisdictions. Most cell phones powered on within reach of a cell phone tower and participating in wireless service should be triggered by the national test. Television shows and radio broadcasts will also be interrupted with an emergency test message. Only local emergency alerts like Amber alerts or severe weather warnings will be disabled in advance.
You cannot opt out of a national alert, and that's because it is sent by the president. So if the president is deciding to send an alert, it's considered important enough that you should receive it no matter what. Aside from test alerts.
Can you imagine if we give Donald Trump that power again? That motherfucker be blowing up our phones.
President has not, to my knowledge, ever sent a national.
I have some Oreos. Would you like an Oreo?
Been tested. Authorities have used the system locally more than 84,000 times since 2012, making it a challenge for authorities to decide how often to hit send.
You know, they're constantly trying to find...
See, that's the thing, Snicks. I have 2 phones, and neither one of them went off. This one might not be on. That could be it. I don't keep... And this is the one that actually has phone service. I don't keep it on. I turn it on when I go out the house, which is rare.
Find that balance of what's too much and what's too little. If you don't send enough alerts, then you might not be reaching everyone. Versus if you send too many, you might desensitize people. There's very much that balance or that needle that they're trying to thread.
For FEMA, the nationwide test is a chance to make sure the federal government can alert the entire country in the event of a nationwide emergency.
We want to make sure that when it counts, we can keep you informed. The next alert you receive could save your life or the life of ones you love.
Now here's the thing is people have been talking about this alert for a few weeks now, but the hype around it really came to a fever pitch in the last couple of days. Lots of conspiracy theories swirling.
In the U.S., you received an emergency broadcast test on your phone and or TV today.
Every couple of years, folks.
Despite its routine, some social media users are spreading false claims that this test is part of a conspiracy to control the population. They allege that the signal can activate programmable nanoparticles, such as graphene oxide, that have been supposedly introduced to our bodies through COVID-19 vaccines. That's not possible for a few reasons. This is an AP fact check. First off, there is no graphene oxide in the COVID-19 vaccines. They have been used to study vaccine structure, but that's it. The nanoparticles that are in the vaccines refer to the size of the lipids or fats that are used as coating material for the mRNA. Lipids can sometimes be described as programmable because their molecular structure can be modified. Chemistry programmable is not the same as in tech, and they can't be activated by a 5G network. Further, these tests have been happening with regularity using the exact same tones as when John F. Kennedy launched the program in 1963.
Nope. There you go.
If you're in the U.S., you receive an emergency broadcast.
Not the only government business interrupted by the alert. Hold on, before I flip it over here, I have to hit the content warning. This was Ted Cruz in a Senate committee hearing.
At every
It's a test alert. We knew it was coming.
Just tell everybody.
We already did once.
It works.
Yep.
I think your time is up, Senator.
we have an emergency in semiconductors. That's a first. I believe.
We announced it before you got here, so sorry. We should have given you some indication that that was happening.
I think our first witness is a semiconductor. You done? No.
Are you winning, son?
I don't know whose device. Just shut yours off. Did you shut yours off? You have to shut it off. You have to shut it. Yeah, you have to shut it off. Okay. Somebody out there.
As I was saying.
See, the government sent out a content warning for Ted Cruz. Oh my God. Did you guys, I got off a little too early last night. As I was ordering my Taco Bell, a former speaker, Kevin McCarthy, gave some comments, took some questions. His honesty was refreshing, with the weight of being speaker lifted off his shoulders. If you guys didn't know, he has announced that he will not be seeking the speakership. I thought that was the most likely scenario. Purgatorus, good evening. Kevin McCarthy hanging his head in shame, I assume would be leaving Congress. As I mentioned yesterday multiple times, twice Boehner and Paul Ryan faced votes to oust. They survived them, but they didn't stay in Congress. They both left. So I don't expect Kevin McCarthy to stick around. But here is a little excerpt from his comments yesterday.
You know, if I counted how many times someone wanted to knock me out, I would have been gone a long time ago. Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about why do it today? I mean, the idea that you
why not
rip the Band-Aid off here, or what?
Well, why not? You know, look, I think Matt has planned this all along. It didn't matter what we transpired.
See, I fucking he was so fucking refreshingly honest with his comments yesterday, and I like politicians when they don't have to win re-election, when they don't have to play politics anymore. They usually they hit us with some brutally honest facts.
Fired. You know, he would have done it if we were in shutdown or not. I firmly believe it's the right decision to keep government open, to make sure our military is still paid, our border agents are still paid. And if that makes a challenge based upon whether I should be Speaker, I'll take that fight.
So you're calling his bluff?
Yeah.
What was your conversation like with Mr. Jeffries? Why did you call him?
Well, I have to talk to Jeffries about a lot of things. We talk every week. We talk sometimes during the week. We've got some issues going on. The Bowman. I always try to let him know what's going to be coming to the floor and others. My only conversation with Jeffries, I got a lot of respect for him. You know, you guys do whatever you need to do. I get politics. I understand where people are. I truly believe, though, the institution of the House. At the end of the day, if you throw a speaker out that has 99% of their conference, that kept government open and paid the troops, I think we're in a really bad place for how we're going to run Congress.
So are you expecting Democrats to back you up then?
No, I personally am not.
Do you need their help to remain in leadership?
So apparently, like, they asked for several things in return, and he wouldn't budge on any of them. The main one being dropping the impeachment hearings into Biden, which, of all the asks, that's what you asked for? I would think the impeachment hearing is good for the Democrats going into the election. But good God, Democrats over here, drop your farce hearing where we've already dominated you and had so many good sound bites coming out of. But that was one of the things that they asked for. So fucking simple. And they would have backed Kevin McCarthy and let him remain Speaker. They would have allowed 10 Democrats to come to his defense and vote for it. Like, I don't understand that move. To me, that would have been the... He's getting ousted for doing the right thing, right? For coming to a bipartisan agreement. A dozen of these freedom cock motherfuckers are throwing him on his petard for actually governing. They are pulling a terrorist attack on the government. That's exactly what this is. They do not want government to function.
No, if five Republicans go with Democrats, then I'm out. So it's whether.
Likely.
Probably so.
This is a bit of a complex piece of algebra here, because you don't know what attendance, you don't know what the president votes. I mean, tell me
piece of algebra
confident based on what the mathematical equation is.
Because I live in America.
No, I know, but I mean, this is a serious.
It is a serious question.
You don't know how to do math?
Okay. Take the current situation out. Have you ever come to me on no matter what you thought I couldn't solve that I wasn't confident?
I'm not questioning your confidence.
But you're asking why I'm confident? Because who I am. And I just don't give up.
He's nuts.
In my life, I have fallen many times. There was a time I was going to be Speaker and I couldn't, and you guys all counted me out. I'm Speaker. I'm the 55th Speaker of the House. You're confident that government was going to shut down. You were confident the debt ceiling wouldn't get done. But each and every time, if it's an obstacle, I view it as a challenge, and we're going to solve the challenge. We're going to take it heads on.
He will be a lobbyist. He'll work for some think tank, law firm, Wall Street, sit on the board for some defense contractor. He's going to have a good life. Don't feel bad for Kevin McCarthy. Sit on the board of multiple companies. Well, lobbyist isn't inherently a bad word. We need to get money out of politics, but nonprofits lobby all the time, and that's totally cool. Corporations that lobby, that's where I get a little touchy. Here is Matt Gaetz, the man who made the vacation for Kevin McCarthy happen.
Congressman Matt Gaetz joins us now to discuss all of this. Welcome in today, Congressman. So you were.
Does he have a podcast? Is that his Twitch set up?
Many of them who agree with you, but there are also those, as you know, agree but say this just wasn't the right time. Not controlling the Senate, the White House really doesn't change no matter who is the Speaker.
Venus is correct on that.
is the plan?
Well, we need a new speaker who is
fucking PragerU is a nonprofit.
Here to spending guardrails. This exercise was really about spending. We sit atop a $33 trillion debt. We're facing $2 trillion and up annual deficits each year. And we had obtained a commitment from Speaker McCarthy that the House position would always be a return to pre-COVID spending levels. The amount of federal government spending during COVID rose by 40%.
Okay, but some say there was a bill that was killed Friday that had some significant spending. There was a bill that was voted on and passed and declined to go forward. I wanted, instead of getting right to the weeds, I want to go overview, though, first off, where we are today. As you know, you've criticized McHenry. He sent members home now until next Tuesday. We just reported that.
That's a bad idea.
So the immediate result, as you know, the immediate result, though, Congressman, of the vacate vote is sort of negative for Americans. There's delays, there's gridlock. And while you have criticized McCarthy for working with Democrats, you also needed their support. Why were they so excited to do this if this is such a win for conservatives?
That's a very good question.
One thing that everyone in Washington had in common is that Kevin McCarthy had lied to all of us at one point or another. So I was concerned about the lack of commitments that he was able to keep in our agreement, and I guess he had been double dealing the Democrats as well. I assumed that the Democrats would save him. The fact that they didn't, I think, says a lot more about Speaker McCarthy than my goals to reduce spending. The bill that you referenced from Friday that was not passed would only have reduced spending for 1 month. We are not in a world in which an 8% cut in non-defense discretionary spending over the course of 1 month is going to yield any programmatic reform. Instead of doing a bill like that is a continuing resolution that lumps all of the different agencies of government together in one up or down vote, we should have single subject spending bills. Kevin McCarthy promised that he would deliver those bills. He failed to do so. We finally got a few of them out of the House, really with a political gun to the Speaker's head, and I voted for all of them.
Yeah, and I want to get to McCarthy's reaction to his ouster yesterday, which of course you initiated. He says, Congressman, that you told him that you would never use the motion to vacate, and he had even more choice words about you last night. Let's play this clip.
You all know Matt Gaetz.
We do.
You know it was personal. It had nothing to do about spending. It had nothing to do about everything he accused somebody of he was doing. It all was about getting attention from you. I mean, we're getting email fundraisers from him as he's doing it. Join in quickly. That's not governing.
I want to give you a chance to respond because there's also an element of this where McCarthy thinks that, the fact he didn't kill that ethic complaint maybe played into this, that this was personal. And again, a lot of the critics say this is all about publicity.
Yeah, that's nonsense. By the way, I didn't ask you to come on this show. You asked me to come on. So I'm not the one pushing the publicity.
Sassy.
You invited me on the program to discuss these matters.
Not the Snicks type.
Networks invite me on as well because they'd like to know my perspective, and I think it's appropriate to share that with the American people. You heard the former speaker.
We haven't heard from Nestor in years.
His manner of fundraising is to collect hundreds of millions of dollars from special interests and lobbyists and billionaires, and then those entities own him. All of that money comes with strings attached. Instead of raising money for the people whose special interests are at issue in Washington, D.C., I raise money from my voters and the American people. $10, $20, $30 at a time. People go to mattgaetz.com and give just a little bit, and it adds up to a lot. That's a far better system
we did ask you
than the one embraced by Kevin McCarthy.
And we did ask you on because you did initiate this, and it is a historic moment, as you know, for Congress and for our nation. Donald Trump was asked today in court who should be Speaker. He said his focus
I've got that. We're going to get to that.
Troy Nails put his name in for Speaker. We know Jim Jordan is a candidate as well. Who do you think would be
Jim Jordan
for Speaker? Would you go on the record now with a name? A lot of people have not put a name forward. Who's your choice, Congressman?
I think there are a lot of people in our conference who could be Speaker. I nominated Jim Jordan back in January. Obviously, he's someone I could vote for. Steve Scalise is also a great guy. I think the world of him. He's someone I could vote for. So I think that we'll see a number of talented people come forward. And I know this. If it's Speaker Jim Jordan or Speaker Steve Scalise, there will be very few conservatives in the country who don't see that as a monumental upgrade over Speaker McCarthy.
In the meantime, how do you navigate with the enemies against you that you have?
The thing, like, Scalise would be my bet if it wasn't for the fact that he has blood cancer. And he is like, you saw he was on the floor and he gave a speech, and just as soon as he got done with the speech, he put on an N95 mask because the motherfucker has blood cancer. Doesn't want to get their fucking germs on him. And I don't blame him. So I don't know that he would want to take on the leadership role while battling blood cancer, because apparently that shit sucks. No fan of Steve Scalise, because he is a gigantic piece of shit. But I mean, blood cancer is pretty fucking horrible. I don't think I would have wished it on him. Perhaps somebody has wished it on him since he has it, but I don't believe in that kind of voodoo. The fucking Republicans are catty, though. Check this out. They gave the boot to Democrats. Their Capitol office. GOP revenge tour continues as they boot Steny Hoyer from his Capitol office. The Republicans continue to take their own self-hatred out on Democrats as Midas touch. Following the eviction of Nancy Pelosi from her hideaway office in the Capitol while she was attending memorial services for the late Dianne Feinstein, Republicans continue their revenge tour on Wednesday morning, booting Democratic Rep Steny Hoyer from his Capitol hideaway as well. Republicans are taking revenge for Democrats joining in on Republican Matt Gaetz' resolution to vacate Kevin McCarthy from the speakership. Republicans in complete disarray and finding the in complete disarray and finding themselves unable to govern are lashing out at Democrats for their own failures. Axios reporter Andrew Solander reports on Wednesday morning that Representative Garrett Graves said Kevin McCarthy will be given Pelosi's now former office. Graves claimed it was for the preceding speaker, and now that she and other Democrats have caused her to be an immediately preceding speaker, she has removed herself from that office. As previously mentioned, it was Republicans who invoked the motion to vacate the chair. Pelosi was not even present for the vote. Classic abuser tactic. Look what you made me do. We'll get to Taylor Swift later on in the show. Trump in court today. I don't know if this was before or after court, but he was asked about. I think he's already been nominated, hasn't he? Marjorie Taylor Greene nominated Donald Trump to be Speaker of the House. This is him addressing.
Member clause, they do their own work. The clause tells them, do your own due diligence, do your own work. That's where we are. And I got sued. And I hear I may be guilty of a lot for no reason. They may give a lot of money for something where there was nothing wrong. This is a witch hunt. This is just a continuation of the witch hunt that started the day I came down the escalator in Trump Tower. And it's a shame for our country. You borrow money, you pay it back. The bank loves us. They said.
Was he asked about the?
We loaned him money. A big bank. These are big banks, by the way.
He asked about the house.
Biggest law firms, the most prestigious.
Before this.
The best law firms in the country. You borrow money, you pay it back, and you get sued by a political animal. And that's where we are. And that's the way it goes. And that's why New York State is failing, and that's why companies are leaving by the thousands.
So apparently the Republicans have a rule that they wrote into the House saying that you will step aside if you are accused of a felony that has more than 2 years. Remember, Republican leadership shall step aside if indicted for a felony for which a sentence of 2 or more years may be imposed.
I'll see you later. Thank you.
They can change their rules, though.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever's best for the country and for the Republican Party. We have some great people. I just want to say we have some great people.
Would you take a job?
A lot of people have asked me about it. I'm focused. You know, we're leading. I don't know you. I'm sure you don't read too much in the papers, but we're leading by like 50 points for president. You know, my focus is totally on that. If I can help them during the process, I would do it. But we have some great people in the Republican Party that can do a great job as Speaker. Well, what about you?
Marjorie Taylor Greene called for you to be Speaker yesterday.
Yeah, I think she's a wonderful woman, Marjorie. A lot of other people vote for that too. I'll do whatever it is to help, but my focus, my total focus is being president and, quite honestly, making America great again, because we are living in a country.
This is like watching a monkey at a zoo, isn't it? He's just a dancing monkey, and they're all amused by it, how dumb he is. Jesus Christ, we live in the dumbest timeline.
In decline. This is a country that's failing badly. We're not respected in the world. Interest rates are through the roof. Taxes are through the roof. Inflation is horrible. What it's done to us, it's eating us alive. Energy is now over $5. I was at $1.87. It's over $5. What's happened to our country with Afghanistan, that horrible removal, the most embarrassing moment, I think, in our country's history. So I'm running for president. I'm up by 40 and 50 points and more in some cases. But whatever I can do to help with regard to Speaker is good. By the way, I'm also leading Biden by a lot. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have trials like this. Thank you very much.
Come on, man. Mr. President, your family's going through a lot.
Once again, in court today for the third day of his bench trial, not jury trial, in his civil fraud trial. Let's go to ABC News.
Donald Trump spoke outside the New York City courtroom where the third day of his civil fraud trial is.
Oh no, do we have to listen to Trump again?
New York Attorney General.
Oh yeah, we want to hear this part.
And the Justice Department for what he calls corruption. The judge overseeing the case issuing a gag order against the former president just yesterday after he made those disparaging posts on social media about a member of the judge's staff. The $250 million lawsuit brought on by the AG accuses Trump of lying about his wealth and inflating the value of his properties by more than $2 billion. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, joins us now by phone from the courthouse. What's happened this hour, Aaron?
Well, the case is about to resume here, Kira, with the cross-examination of an accountant, Donald Bender, who so far has been the only witness to testify at this trial. And the judge has been urging the defense cross-examination to speed up. But we're also waiting to hear from New York Attorney General Letitia James, who has been the victim of a number of Trump's attacks and intense rhetoric since this trial began. He has called her corrupt. He has called her incompetent, said that she has brought a rigged case against him. And she is, I think, prepared to respond, but also speak out, as you mentioned, about the partial gag order that was imposed after Trump posted disparaging things about the judge's clerk. She's going to come back in here to court, where she's been seated over the last couple of days right behind Trump, and talk about how some of that rhetoric can be dangerous.
Pictures now of Letitia James there, sitting not far behind the former president as he's looking.
Staring daggers through him.
You know, earlier today, as you mentioned, Trump claimed he wasn't entitled to a jury in this case. But this is a bench trial, and his defense team never even requested one in the first place.
Oh no, they're cool emotes.
The case is charged, and the way the relief that's being sought would make this bench trial almost a foregone conclusion. Now, Trump's attorneys could have at least tried, and they never really did, to get this before a jury, even though Trump today said he wished there could be a jury. And he's clearly frustrated by that, because he believes that if the case were before a jury, he'd win, because he says there's no case and people would understand that he's being charged with fraud for nothing. The way he sees it, he's entitled to value his real estate properties the way he sees fit, the way he thinks they're worth. And he doesn't necessarily have to listen to the assessed value of places like Mar-a-Lago or his penthouse apartment or the like.
So Trump was...
And I live in $1 million apartment.
...this trial yesterday, yet he shows up again today on his own accord, but he's still claiming that the court is keeping him from campaigning in key states. Clearly, that's not the case. He's free to go, come and go as he pleases.
This is
he don't have to be there.
Not a criminal case, Kira, so he is not required to attend, but he is here of his own volition. And when he says he's stuck and off the campaign trail, that's by choice. Although he has now departed court and appears to be leaving New York to return, perhaps to Florida.
So we mentioned this gag order, Aaron, that was issued by the judge. What exactly did Trump say about the judge's clerk on social media?
He posted a picture of her with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and questioned her politics and questioned her integrity in the case. And the judge said that personal attacks against court staff are unacceptable and are off limits. And he said if Trump does it again, there could be serious sanctions.
Aaron Katursky, appreciate the coverage.
Hi. Shut up, George. Yeah, that worked out well. I thought I fucked it up. I didn't fuck it up. Next up, Rudy Giuliani has sued, I think, Joe Biden. I think he has sued the president. Maybe also the other Biden as well. I'm not exactly sure.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
In what his spokesperson called a case with far-reaching implications for justice and the rule of law, Rudy Giuliani has filed a 16-page complaint alleging President Joe Biden defamed the former New York City mayor who faces a mountain of his own legal challenges. Mr. Giuliani, in a brief and rambling press conference in New Hampshire on the 4th of October, do we have the press? My God. Is there video? Hold on. Rambling press conference, that's what we're here for. Oh, he's talking on his own show right now.
President Joe.
Ah, shit.
We are in a situation where we have foreign countries trying to interfere in the outcome of our election. His own national security advisor told him that what is happening with his buddy, I will. His buddy, Rudy Giuliani, he's being used as a Russian pawn. We are in a situation where we have foreign.
This is Rudy live right now.
Interfere in the outcome of our election. His own national security advisor told him that what is happening with his buddy, I will. His buddy, Rudy Giuliani, he's being used as a Russian pawn. He's being fed information that is Russian, that is not true. And then what happens? Nothing happens.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Accompanied by the Director General of the International Labor Organization.
And to say to President Biden, can you hear me, President Biden? This is a historical moment for Brazil and for the U.S. President Biden, can you hear me? You can? Yes, good. And so there's the U.S. delegation that is here with me. I'd like to greet my wife that is also here. I'd like to greet...
What in the fuck are they watching?
That came to my invitation by my labor minister, and I also like to greet the U.S. trade union leaders.
The first clip is what I assume he's saying was defamatory. What the fuck is this clip?
He walked out on the guy. He walked out.
He never shook hands with the other guy.
But he shook hands with the flag.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't figure out until the end that this is to put in your ear, dummy. Meanwhile, the other guy has it in his ear.
And the sad thing that this isn't the worst. Really, this is not the worst. Tonight on TV, At 7 o'clock on the news, when they were interviewing him, he looked like he had some sort of plastic surgery to pull his head apart and put it back together again. I never saw anything like it in my life. I wonder if we can get a picture of that. Plastic surgery.
These two men have no business. I think that's a man.
His upper lip. He doesn't have an upper lip. He had an upper lip during the debate.
Let's see if we can find him.
He looks like a Marv.
We'll play it tomorrow. We'll have it by
Biden.
I gotta play another clip while you
Video today. Let's just see if we get lucky.
I'm gonna play a clip while you do that.
I've got a more professional show than that motherfucker's got. Oh, it's Pat. That's who that was. It's an aging Pat. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's do happy news. Hey, we got our dose of Giuliani. Let's I appreciate you trying though, Warlord. Yeah, get ready to raise those fists, motherfuckers. Remember, it's always left fist, left fist. Largest healthcare strike in U.S. history. Started today.
Breaking news this morning, the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history is underway.
I just said that.
Of Kaiser Permanente employees across the country have walked off the job. They're demanding improved work conditions, higher pay, and better benefits. They're planning to stay on the picket lines over the next 3 days. Kaiser says it is working around the clock with the union to come to an agreement.
I am not a pre-watch Andy. It's just the headline.
Kaiser in East Hollywood with more. Jacqueline, good morning.
Hi, Jessica. Good morning to you as well. Yes, Kaiser says negotiations are still in progress. People have been out here since 5 o'clock this morning. The picket lines officially started at 6 o'clock. So for several hours now, hundreds, if not thousands, of Kaiser workers are at this specific location in East Hollywood. Now, many of these you're seeing right now, they don't work at this specific hospital. They're coming from nearby hospitals, everyone joining together at this location. I
love it when you fuck with me.
Working at Kaiser for the past several years. You were telling me a little bit beforehand that what you're seeing right now, this picture, it's sad to you.
It's devastating. We were very loyal. We love Kaiser. We're just asking to have a livable wage. It would be different if Kaiser didn't have the money.
Oh, she's right.
I cannot clean from the outside of the room while doctors were in the nurse's station talking to patients on the telephone. And now you're telling me I'm only worth 3 pennies on a dollar. That's just inexplicable to me. It's hurtful. I'm not worth a whole nickel. I can't get a piece of silver.
What do you have to say? Kaiser released some information saying that specifically Southern California Kaiser employees make more than 20% of non-Kaiser workers. What do you have to say about that? You're laughing. You find that funny?
I find that incredibly funny when the exact same union, SEIU, got Cedars-Sinai 13%. Now you're telling me I'm only worth 3 pennies. I'm not understanding the correlation.
That math ain't mathin'. That math ain't mathin'.
Kaiser made $44.6 billion.
Well, Deborah, thank you so much for your time. Kaiser wants to make it known that they do have contingency plans in place. So if you have upcoming surgeries or whatnot, everything will go on as planned. Emergency rooms and hospitals are staying open during the strike, which is expected to wrap up this Saturday morning. Reporting live from East Hollywood, Jacqueline Sarkeesian, KTLA 5 News.
People see it. People see the obscene wealth of these companies, and they know they're getting fucked. This woman knows she said it'd be one thing if they didn't have the money. But they got the fucking money. She did look like she was in a bathrobe or some shit. I don't understand fashion. I'm gonna go throw that out. I dated a woman. She worked for, God, what? I'd never heard of it, but it's apparently this big, huge fucking brand. Billy something or other. It's some like high fashion fucking company. So I'm dating this girl that works for this, I don't fucking remember, Billy something or other. Billy. You know, it was like Calvin Klein, blah, 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 Billy something or whatever the fuck it was. Don't fucking remember because I'd never heard of the brand before in my life. But like I go in one of the stores with her and I'm like, oh, this is a cool jacket. And I'll look at the price tag and I shit myself. It was like $5,000 fucking dollars. And I'm, what? You know, I'm expecting a couple hundred. Billy Reed. That's it. Thank you, Warlord. Billy Reed. But she had some dress and she knew when it was going on sale and with her employee discount or something. She was really excited to get this dress. It looked exactly like fucking that. It looked exactly like that. But this fucking, okay, so it was in Alabama where I'm seeing her. That's where their home office was. Because the Billy Reed dude was from Alabama. But like all the other, like I'm there in their office and it has like all the other office locations. And it's, so it's like London, Tokyo, New York, Los Angeles, Florence, Alabama. It always cracked me fucking up. And all their other locations were in like just huge fucking cities. But their main office is in Florence, Alabama. But she bought a dress that looked, it was black. But it looked a hell of a lot like that. And I'm like, you could have made that. Like I could have taught myself to make that. I don't get it. I don't get fashion. So there was a set of sunglasses. I fucking loved them. They were $500. And I'm like, fuck that. The sunglasses I had on were like $3 at the Dollar Tree or whatever. Like I don't like them that much. But she was all excited because like it went on sale and then she had the employee discount on top of it. For a dress that looked like a sack. Oh my God. If you think it, more power to you. If you think you look good, go for it. Like you don't dress to please me. I really don't care what you look like. I care like stimulate my mind. Oh goddamn. I got off on a tangent there. You know, I do need a bong. I'm not high enough for this shit, Venus. I'll smoke to the fact that the UAW strike is expanding.
General Motors announced today it is laying off 160 workers.
Well, fuck General Motors.
The strike drags on. GM has already laid off 2,000 workers since the strike started. Ford and Stellantis have temporarily laid off nearly 1,000 workers combined. Fox's Mills Hayes is live in Plymouth, Minnesota tonight. And Mills, this strike is proving that the concerns about a big financial bite are proving true.
Hey, Tom, I mean, that's right. It doesn't really look like there's any end in sight right now. And the Anderson Economic Group tells us that so far in the first 2 weeks of the strike, it has cost the U.S. economy about $4 billion. Friday, they expanded the strike.
No, as Sean Fain said, if they don't quote him here, it's cost their economy $4 billion. The economy that doesn't work for the working people, the economy that works for the billionaire class. It's Cost them $4 billion.
VW expanded it to another Ford and GM plant. Now there are more than 25,000 workers that are on strike, like these people behind me over here. Stellantis parts distribution workers in Minnesota have the picket line stacked 24/7.
Just give us our fair share. We worked hard for it.
25
that's all.
Veteran Jeffrey Stinson used to build Jeeps in Belvedere, Illinois.
It wrecks your body, and it takes a toll after so long.
The plant closed in February, sending Stinson to this parts distribution center.
Our vehicle, the Jeep Cherokee, is being sent to Mexico. They said it was because of the EV costs. I don't believe that. That's what they say. I believe that it's cheaper to make it down in Mexico.
For now, Stinson drives the 10-hour round trip home as often as he can.
I got my family there, my kids, everybody. I miss home, but I guess this is home for right now.
Hudson GM plant worker Jason DeWitt hasn't made more than $20 an hour in the last few years, but his rent...
I see an easy solution. The government needs to step in, take over the fucking company, and give it to the workers. They run the fucking company. You want good paying jobs in America. If a co-op of workers owns the plant, they aren't going to send jobs to Mexico. Let the workers buy the company. We already bailed them out as taxpayers. We should already have equity in the fucking company. The workers should already own the fucking company.
It has doubled.
I feel like I've gone backwards, that things are more expensive and that I have to work even longer to afford the same things I did before. And to me, that's a huge problem.
To get by, DeWitt picks up an extra shift or two each week at a fast food joint.
I'm thankful I have a second job who is willing to work with my schedule here, because here is...
Motherfucker making your goddamn car in America. 30-year-old man, 35-year-old man, whatever, 40 years old, however old he is, should not have to have another job at a Taco John's to make ends meet, to support his family. It's fucking bullshit.
Is an absolute schedule.
This is the reality for workers across more than 20 states who are striking for better pay and benefits. Ford CEO Jim Farley has called the additional walkouts grossly irresponsible. And GM also said that they proposed a counter proposal to UAW, but has yet to hear back from them. UAW says that they are at the negotiating table and ready to talk whenever. In Plymouth, Minnesota, Mills Hayes, Fox 26 News.
Teachers shouldn't have to do porn to supplement their income. Do you want to do it now? I was saving it for tomorrow. I was possibly going to do a freaking news of it tonight, but I guess Venus, since you brought it up, high school teacher has been put on leave after school officials discover her OnlyFans page. No offense, Warlord, I did not see it. I am not as active in the Discord as I should be, and I apologize for that. I love you guys very much, and I'm always very entertained, and I try to at least get on it a couple times during the day, because like there's always good shit, even shit that I've missed. But I'm an aggregate of news content. I see everything. I know even stories we don't talk about. I know what's going on. And if it pops into my head while we're doing the show, I'll be like, I left this off, but you might need to know about this that happened. I look out for you. It's all Warlord's fault. Missouri high school teacher says she has been placed on leave after officials discovered that she was performing on a pornography website to supplement her salary. And Brianna Coppage, 28, who taught English at St. Clair High School, says her teaching days are probably over, but she acknowledged she knew the risks. Coppage told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch that she was put on leave on Wednesday after being interviewed by two administrators. Her access to school email and other software was suspended while the district investigates. It was kind of always this cloud hanging over my head, like I never knew when I would be discovered, Coppage said in an interview. Then about 2 weeks ago, my husband and I were told that people were finding out about it, so I knew this day was coming. Superintendent Kyle Cruz said in a statement that the district was recently notified that what did she do? What did she do that was wrong? Sex work is real work. There is no difference in her filming her coochie than me sitting here doing voiceover work. Absolutely no difference in that work. They are both legitimate forms of earning a living. Sometimes it's even much harder. I mean, like, they shouldn't be on her OnlyFans. Yeah, clinically, there's the solution. You should pay teachers more. Now, lucky for her, if this is the kind of story that will go viral, she'll probably, like, if she's still doing OnlyFans and shit, she'll get a bump from this. It might be the best thing for, she may make fucking $5-6 grand over the next, like, week. Yep, Hot for Teacher was the song I was gonna use. Just on the freaking news when I did this story. I mean, oh, that's horrible. What was the site so I can make sure to avoid it? You got 100+ new subs? Not bad. I would expect a few thousand, but like this story may like be at the starting point of its virality, right? So this was published on October 3rd. So yesterday. This was this was Las Vegas. This wasn't the... I want you to feel bad. Oh, that's why I was using the Las Vegas website. One of the fathers, maybe one of the kids, who knows? Well, if you really want to feel bad, I've got like the next 30 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes of stories will really make you feel bad. I got graphic crime, death, and destruction for you. You want to skip that and you want to get back, the not as harsh stuff will probably be in about 30 minutes. Totally out of the whole crime section and into the bullshit will be like 40-45 minutes. We'll be into like judge dismisses lawsuit against McDonald's. And from there on out, it's maybe a little transphobia. Just a little as a treat. That doesn't make any sense. But then it's bullshit. North Carolina radio station. I got a heartwarming speech by a young trans girl. Kat Von D got baptized. We're gonna watch that for some reason, because yeah. So yeah, just giving you a heads up. It's getting ready to get gruesome. Trying to segment this show. First, we're going to go to Venice, which would probably be normally would be a fun vacation, except if you were on a bus yesterday.
Officials say at least 21 people have died, including 2 children, after a bus crashed off a flyover and caught fire near the Italian city of Venice. The bus broke through a barrier and plunged more than 10 meters near railway tracks in the Mestre district, which is connected to Venice by a bridge. Italian news agencies say several Ukrainians are among the dead. Louisa Pilbeam has more.
Through the early hours, emergency crews battled to rescue the injured and recover the dead. This bus had been full of tourists returning from a day out in Venice, now burnt out and overturned. From high up, where it veered through crash barriers, you can see the drop. It plunged off this bridge and burst into flames.
That's horrific.
Have mathematical certainty that there were no other people underneath. As you have seen, the bus flipped upside down. The impact was terrible because it fell from over 10 meters. There were 39 people. It wasn't easy. In the impact, the electric batteries of the bus caught fire.
Ukrainians, Germans and French nationals are so far believed to be among the dead, according to Italian officials. The mayor of Venice was at the scene and gave an idea of the scale of casualties at the time.
19 are here.
Was it a Tesla?
So it's 20.
Did it drive itself off the bridge?
Some of them are okay. Then there are some critical in Padua. Some burned. 4 children died for now.
It happened across the water from Venice's tourist centre in the Mestre district last night. Now, as investigators try to find out how this happened, the Italian transport minister has said the driver, believed to be among the dead, could have suddenly become unwell. Louisa Pilbeam, BBC News.
Well, the BBC's Harry Farley is following developments.
Maybe the driver had a heart attack or passed out or some shit.
It's from Rome.
Well, the main question that the investigation will look to answer is exactly how this could have happened. The reaction this morning in Italy is one of shock and one of horror at what happened last night. As Louisa mentioned in her report, then several children we know are among the dead, including a baby, according to Italian emergency services. The Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, said that she's following developments closely, and she expressed her profound condolences with the families of the victims. And the mayor of Venice, Luigi Brunaro, he said that he was speechless at what had happened. But there are questions for the authorities. The cause of the crash at this stage remains unclear. One possible line of inquiry is whether the 40-year-old Italian driver became ill shortly before the crash.
Did the video freeze? I'm freaking out over here. Am I tripping?
Driver became ill shortly before the crash. That's just one line of inquiry at the moment. That's not confirmed to be the cause. The cause of the
Am I the only one that's seeing that?
moment is unclear, but there are questions over how this could have allowed to have happened. You know, Italy has suffered a number of deadly bus crashes in recent years. In 2017, 16 people died in a bus crash in the northern city of Verona. In 2013, 40 people died when another bus crashed off a viaduct in southern Italy. So there are questions for the authorities about how this could have happened and how this was allowed to have happened amidst the grief and the horror of what happens in Italy today.
It was freaking me out. I was having acid flashbacks or some shit. Horrific. That's the only way to describe that. Oh yeah, it's the only way to describe what we're getting ready to talk about as well. Just another day. Massachusetts shooting claims life of a baby. Another baby dies. Delivered after the mother was one of several hit by gunfire. Holyoke, Massachusetts. Did I say it correctly? A shooting in Holyoke, Massachusetts claimed the life of a baby that was delivered after its mother was one of several people hit by gunfire. You can see the scene. Woman was shot while seated on a bus and taken to a hospital in critical condition. Police said that it appeared 3 male suspects were involved in an altercation and the shooting. Maybe it didn't even have anything to do with her and she was just a bystander. All involved suspects are believed to have been identified, taken to hospital, and are in custody, according to the DA. That's the next story here. Multiple people shot on a Baltimore university. At least 4 people were wounded, none critically, in a shooting at Morgan State University in Baltimore. Police kept the campus on lockdown for hours and urged students to take shelter at the historically black college. They said it was no longer an active shooter situation. This happened last night. I don't know when the story was published. City council officials said it was believed that there were 3 shooters firing into the crowd. The shooting happened amid a week of activities at the school's homecoming game. There were 3 people in the other shooting. 3, oh, it's a magic number. Yeah, it is. It's a magic number. I don't believe in any like astrology, astronomy, or numerology, or any of that shit. But if this kid ends up being, and this is another story of a kid getting killed, I think. I don't know if he gets killed or not. I'm getting ahead of myself here. If the kid is 3 years old, I'm gonna flip the fuck out. There's like some kind of witchcraft going on. Content warning for this one as well. Texas man was at a wedding in Nebraska, accidentally shot his grandson.
Saturday, about 5:05 p.m., deputies were sent out to Hillcrest event. They got sent out on a gunshot wound. When deputies arrived along with Pleasantdale, we end up learning that a gentleman who was officiating the wedding decided to gain everybody's attention and start the wedding with a bang, that he was going to shoot a PIETA, P-I-E-T-T-A model 1860 snub-nosed revolver into the air with a blank to gain everybody's attention so that they could come up to the wedding. Well, when he decided to cock back the hammer of this revolver, it slipped and it shot his grandson in the left shoulder, causing an injury. He did have to go to an area hospital and then was transported up to Omaha for further treatment. It is non-life threatening. The grandfather's name is Michael Gardner. He is out of Odessa, Texas. And he was up here for the wedding. This morning, he did turn himself in at adult.
Unforgettable wedding memories.
And he was lodged for a 3A felony of child abuse for neglectfully firing a firearm and injuring someone. Do you guys have any questions?
So it wasn't a blank?
It was a blank. What it was is it was a .45 Colt ammunition. What he did was put black powder into the casing and then glued it. And what we believe is the glue is what injured the child. The child is 12 years old, and he is also from Odessa, Texas.
Well, 12 is a multiple 3, so you know.
Weapon, and the ammunition and the spent casing.
What's the address again out there?
12400 West Denton Road.
It was blankish.
They do have lots of weddings and events out at that location.
Can you spell Michael's name?
You bet.
I'm not seeing a picture of the suspect. Mostly hard. Man, okay, so If you're gonna get shot as a kid, like lucky it goes into your shoulder. You got that over your grandfather, like they're like, he's gonna spoil the shit out of you. They're like, your grandfather better be buying you a car when you turn 16. You shot me. Grandpa, you shot me in the shoulder. Because I assume if he's out here playing with guns and shit, he's got some money laying around. God damn, the world we live in. We're gonna go to Florida. Oh, Warlord got me a picture here. We'll come back to Florida here in a second. There we go. That's exactly what I would expect him to look like. 62-year-old Michael Gardner. Apparently this happened over the weekend. Yeah, that dude's got some money. You can buy that kid a car. Texas crazy man to Florida crazy people. This could be like Nazi crime. I don't know what's going on here. This also would totally be a Florida thing. Art dedicated to black history irreparably vandalized in Florida. A piece of art in Florida dedicated to black history in the U.S. was vandalized on Monday night with footage showing smashed glass tiles. Tampa Police Department has said it has launched an investigation after the piece, located at Perry Harvey Senior Park, was damaged. Detectives are working to develop leads and apprehend the suspect or suspects. The artwork features 8 murals created by Rufus Butler Cedar. It shows famous figures such as Martin Luther King Jr. Chief Lee Burkay said the vandalism is an insult to the community. Is it a video? Hold on. Some stories don't play well in that browser. The video, is it gonna load? Oh, that's really fucking cool. That's what they fucking vandalized. God damn. I saw a graph about Democratic spending in Florida, and it is just completely vanished. They've given up on Florida. Yep, lame ass people destroyed. They're like, that was fucking awesome. That was a really cool fucking piece. Had a lot of awesome black faces. Speaking of black faces, I got a man that says he was wrongfully arrested due to facial recognition software.
So that day, I was headed to my mom's house for Thanksgiving to celebrate with my family and whatnot. And on my way that way, I got pulled over by the police. I didn't know why I was being pulled over. When I asked why, they told me I was being pulled over for a warrant, and they just continued to ask me my name. Once they verified it was me, they pulled me out the car, and they locked me up, and they told me that I had a warrant, and I asked them for what and from where. And they told me that I had a warrant out of Jefferson Parish. I asked, where's Jefferson Parish? Because I had never heard of that county, and then they told me it was in Louisiana. Then I was confused because I had never been to Louisiana, but also when they told me that my warrant was for theft, I was confused as well too. I was just locked up for the next week. I asked them why was I being locked up, or what is it even saying that I did? And then they just kept telling me that it was out of their jurisdiction and they didn't really know. So I basically just had to wait until Louisiana officers would come get me, and then I would have more details. I was finding out that I was arrested for a physical theft, actually, not like something that happened online. So I found out that I was supposed to be arrested for something that I did in person in Louisiana.
He's never been to.
Out that it happened through a video.
Probably don't want to go to it.
They looked at the video to try to recognize who the people were.
Ron had a lawyer based out of the Baton Rouge, Jefferson Parish area. When we called him about this case, he said, hey guys, I think I know what this is. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is. He said, what y'all can do is send him some pictures of Karan and let him go down and speak to a detective and speak to someone he knew on the force. In doing that, he found out and in turn told us, hey, they use this facial identity recognition software. And here's what's interesting about Clearview. And in their agreement with Jefferson Parish, it states we're not to be a single source provider, meaning don't use us as the only reference for your arrest. And one of the things that we found out is that, one, the facial recognition technology is disproportionately affecting African Americans. That's noted, that's research, everybody, it's in the documentation. So the other cases that are around, they're dealing with African Americans. So the technology, the industry, the law enforcement agencies know that African Americans are affected more by this technology than than individuals of a different race.
Nobody consulted me about using this shit.
When you go to jail, but I felt more in danger when I was being detained because I know it was for something I didn't do. So at that point, I had kind of lost faith in, I guess I would say I lost faith in the justice system to know that you could be locked up for something that you've never done in a place that you've never.
See, that's the people got to get that through their skulls, right? You totally could be locked up for something that you didn't do. It happens every goddamn day in this country. I assure you, it is far more prevalent than anyone likes to admit.
Ever been to as well.
Shut up, George. Sorry to pause it right there at the ass end. Oh, this one's a little hairy as well. Sorry. We might have none of the police shootings here recently have really caught on nationally the way that the George Floyd protest did. But this one may be one that people need to pay attention to. Yeah, I'm not high enough for this shit. Pretty sure the cops lied. Pretty sure cops are lying over here. Stephen Perkins' family releases video of deadly police shooting. The grainy video footage captured the moment a Decatur police officer shot and killed 39-year-old Stephen Perkins in the front yard of his home. But the neighbor's security camera video is difficult to decipher, leaving questions about what happened when police responded to a call on Ryan Drive early on Friday morning. In a news release, Decatur police said Perkins threatened, this is Decatur, Alabama, said that Perkins threatened a tow truck driver attempting to repossess a vehicle and turned a gun toward the officer. Video footage released by the family appeared to show Perkins shining a bright light in the front yard. On the security video, Perkins appeared to move forward a few steps before turning to the right, leaping backward and falling to the ground. The video then appeared to show an officer emerge from Perkins' right side near the home. A second video, released by the family today, appears to show a police officer running and shouting, "Hey, hey, police, get on the ground," before firing multiple shots. Content warning, of course. No, what the fuck? Emptied an entire goddamn clip into him.
Hey, what's there? Hey, hey, police, get on the ground! That's the gun! That's the gun! That's the gun!
That was one of the videos. So we got the other one. This is the one that was released by the family today. Not a one of them acted like they were in danger in any way. The publicist for Perkins' family said they want answers about what happens. Mr. Perkins was a family-oriented black man that I considered an individual that strived for excellence. He was into health, the gym, just an all-around well-rounded individual striving for excellence in America. The family has disputed that Perkins faced repossession of his vehicle, saying in a statement to news outlets that they have found receipts confirming his payments. After protesters gathered outside City Hall over the weekend, Police Chief Todd Pinion said he would not release body camera footage, citing the state police investigation into the shooting. I say it every time there's something like this. If the body camera footage proves them right, it proves they didn't do anything wrong, or they think it proves they didn't do anything wrong, they will release it. So you know it's bad. Families left traumatized at this point. They're in total shock, which is ultimately one of the reasons why the family is not open to discussing with media. They had a publicist to come in and handle that for them. Lipscomb released the security camera video recorded by a neighbor. He said Perkins' family wants a thorough investigation, accountability, and transparency. We haven't heard anything from the police at this time, he said on Monday. This is protesters.
No peace! No justice! No peace! No racism! Police! No racism! Police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Show us the tape! Show us the tape! Release the tape! Release the tape! Show us the tape! Show us the tape! All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter! All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter! What's his name? Steve Perkins! Say his name! Steve Perkins! Say his name! Steve Perkins! What's his name? Steve Perkins! Say his name! Steve Perkins! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racism! Police! No racism! Police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! What's his name? Steve Perkins! Say his name!
We're 3 years out from the George Floyd protests. And not only has things have changed, they've gotten fucking worse. We've not gotten a change for the better. It's for the fucking worse. What the fuck? Well, I can say that this former head of the New York Police Department union, he did us a favor. He did us a total favor. He knew what he was doing on this earth. Roy T. Richter, former NYPD union head, dies by suicide at 56. Yeah, ACAB means you too, motherfucker. Former NYPD union boss, and does that mean he makes it into the Chris Dorner Appreciation Society? Former NYPD boss, our union boss and respected attorney, Roy T. Richter was found dead by suicide at his Westchester home Wednesday by law enforcement. Richter, 56, is believed to have died on Tuesday, which was also his wife's birthday, according to a post on his daughter's Instagram. Richter served in the NYPD for 33 years through January of 2020, when he retired as a deputy chief. For the last 12 years of his law enforcement career, Richter was elected to 3 consecutive terms as president of the NYPD Captain's Endowment, which represents 780 active and 1,400 retired uniformed commanders ranked from captain to deputy chief. On his final day in office, he negotiated a new contract deal that added 10% boost to member compensation. Why is it so easy for them to get a fucking raise? The Captain's Endowment Association mourns the passing of past president Roy Richter. He was one of the true great labor leaders in NYC. I stand in solidarity with all workers except fucking cops. Fuck your cop unions. That's exactly right, Venus. They don't stand in solidarity with any other fucking workers. They're not a workers' union. They are a fraternity. That's the best way to describe it. While CEA President, Richter also chaired the Welfare Fund, which provides medical benefits to 5,500 families, and served as a trustee for the $32 billion police pension fund. So you know he was corrupt as shit. Who's an attorney since 2000, a partner at Bifulco and Richter, where he specialized in labor, tax, and estate planning. So January 2020, he led an eponymous consulting firm that provided clients with financial and legal expertise. Richter was selected by District Attorney Alvin Bragg for a task force on shoplifting and community solutions with the Manhattan Business Alliance in February of 2022. So you know what that means. He was like a shit-lib type. Well, you guys go to your high school reunions? Apparently going to your high school reunion can be dangerous. You guys seem like the type to not do that. Also, Dustin, I don't know if I told you good evening. Father of 3 on his way to high school reunion is killed by a career criminal. That's a weird framing. I don't like that. A prominent Tennessee businessman. Notice how we humanize him. A prominent Tennessee businessman was shot and killed by a man with 66 prior arrests while on his way to attend his high school class's 20th anniversary reunion. Christopher Wright, 38, was in downtown Chattanooga on Thursday night to meet up with fellow Baylor School alumni when he got into an argument with Daryl Roberts, a career criminal known as Too Tall. I like the name. Surveillance of the incident shows Wright, and I tried to find the footage. I did my best to actually find a video, and I can't. A father of 3, including an 8-week-old baby, talking to Roberts, 57, and another man before walking away. Wright then turns around to say something to the two men, with Roberts reacting by walking up to him and firing his gun at Wright's head. Oh, goddamn! Wright was rushed to a nearby hospital where he died. Robert quickly fled but was captured by police the following day in a coordinated search with the U.S. Marshal Service and ATF. Court records show that Roberts has a lengthy rap sheet that includes assault, thefts, drug charges, burglaries, series of traffic offenses, and a case of aggravated robbery in 2020. Too Tall Roberts. Too Tall. One of his most notable arrests include a home invasion in 2010, where he fired 6 shots through a bedroom door. 1 adult and 4 children were behind the door, but no one was hurt, despite being arrested more than 6 times. Records show that Roberts never served more than 6 months behind bars. I find that hard to believe. Or unless he had something wrong with him and the jail didn't want to treat him or some shit, so they spit him back out. That's a good possibility. Motherfucker had some kind of medication he needed to be on. Instead of actually getting him the help he needed, they just threw him back out on the streets. There's a couple of different possibilities here, and either way, the system fucking failed him. It's not that he should have been locked up for the rest of his life. It's that he had issues that you need to address the cause of. And then you fix the criminality. Because most people, there are some people, they get off or they get a kick out of fucking thieving and lying or shit. Some people can't help it. It's a neurological tick. It's a very small percentage of society. If you just meet people's basic needs and take care of their mental health and shit, you will see crime drop drastically. You'll never see it completely disappear because of the sociopaths and the weird kleptomaniacs and shit. But it's gonna drop to just minuscule levels. Don't understand it. It just seems so fucking obvious. Why is our society so goddamn dumb? I couldn't find video of that one, but there is video of this one. This is apparently pretty fucking crazy. Video shows a biker jump on a car and smash a windshield. And apparently the woman gets out and confronts him.
This is a terrifying encounter that happened in Center City to a woman who was driving. A biker
In
jumps
Philadelphia.
stomps out her back window with her 2 small children inside on that back seat. The woman didn't back down and confronted the biker, who was armed with a gun. Now District Attorney Larry Krasner says his office is working to crack down on those illegal meetups. Action News reporter Corey Davis joins us live from Center City with the details. Good morning, Corey.
You think they're like social media fucking bitches and they got like GoPros on their helmets and shit? Is that what's going on?
Back window with her 2 small children inside on that.
Doing that shit for clout?
The woman didn't back down and confronted the biker, who was armed with a gun.
Philadelphia.
Attorney Larry Krasner says his office is working to crack down on those illegal meetups. Action News reporter Corey Davis.
He headbutted her. She didn't back down.
Yeah, Christy, good morning. The DA...
No. Let's watch that again. Hopefully they'll play it full screen. No, she fucking takes a headbutt from him with his fucking helmet on and does not back down. That's badass.
2 small children inside on that back seat. The woman didn't back down and confronted the biker, who was armed with a gun. Now District Attorney Larry Krasner says his office is working to crack down on those illegal meetups. Action News reporter Corey Davis joins us live from Center City with the details. Good morning, Corey.
I am so turned on right now.
Saying he will, quote, vigorously go after charges if that biker is caught. So this encounter happened right behind us here. So this is right next to City Hall. The family was over there at the light where this van is turning. They were trying to wait to turn onto South Broad Street. During that encounter, that victim standing up to the man who had a gun.
His little revolver was not nothing to me, but like it was just the fact that I was like that wasn't going to scare me. And then before that, despite the fact I already seen the gun, he was already trying to point it in the car anyway. That's why I continued to. He jumped on the windshield. He already went through the windshield. I might as well get out. Like there's multiple people who were out there and just watch. The ending, when they all come around in a circle, they're all just surrounding me. The only reason I was staying against the car still is because my son was still in the car. I have a guardian angel, thank God, watching over them, because there's not a single scratch on either one of them.
And that biker is seen
goddamn
windshield around 9:40 Sunday night outside of City Hall. He drops his gun.
He did drop his gun.
Bullock's face. Her girlfriend and 2 kids inside the car with shattered glass everywhere, while a stranger on a tour bus records the incident. No one came to their aid, including police who were nearby and seen in the video while it happened. District Attorney Larry Krasner
pointed it right in her fucking face.
The risk of innocent people getting hurt during the pursuit, and says they're working on other methods to prevent meetups from happening.
I think there are some things that can be done with technology, some things that can be done with wiretaps, some things that can be done if it is approached as a deep dive investigation rather than being approached as something that we have to just catch on the street.
And Krasner says their efforts to get ahead.
Yeah, this kind of thing isn't like the kind of poverty crime I was talking about. This is more like the sociopath crime I was talking about. Like this guy's, it's just gonna happen. I'm amazed she didn't take him out. God damn. I want her on my side. Of course she had a girlfriend. She gets all the fucking pussy. She can go out here and have any woman she wants. She can go out here, she take anybody's woman. She take anybody's man. Save some pussy for the rest of us, ma'am. Yeah, especially when you get like a bunch of young punk asses. So remember we did the young girl that went missing in upstate New York, upstate New York, when she was camping with her family? You know who the kidnapper, the alleged kidnapper was now? And his son apparently spoke to TMZ, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Oh, apparently it's something that I don't want to repeat for fear of getting a ban. The man alleged to have kidnapped 9-year-old Charlotte Cena doesn't have many defenders in his corner, including his own flesh and blood, who says the guy should unalive himself.
Do you live here? Yeah, I do. You live here? Yeah. Okay. So authorities were here searching. I was covering the search. I mean, this is a national case. Yes,
I understand, but it's over. It wasn't even me stuff. We are his kids. We obviously understand the gravity of this situation.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. Obviously, I don't want to be harassed.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a video camera. Obviously,
yeah.
It's your amendment right. I am 100% aware of that. You're being videotaped. You're on a public road. I am 100% aware of that. All right? But he's in jail. We want nothing to do with him. I could give a fuck if the dude dropped dead tomorrow. I could give a fuck if anything. I could care less.
What would you mind coming out and saying that, and just so the public, so the public, you know, maybe just come out here and.
I have it on video right there.
It's hard to hear. Could you just come down and say how you're feeling?
Yeah, I just told you how I'm feeling.
So you're saying you want nothing to do with him?
No.
Yeah, leave him alone, dude.
No, he's disgusting. He's gross. He should die. I could care less. That's how I feel. All right?
Gotcha.
I could give a rat's ass what happens.
Gotcha.
You got that video?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You mind putting this going away?
Gotcha.
Yeah, leave him alone now. Yeah.
For you.
Here you go.
You have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that little comment, but you know, I felt icky watching it, to be honest with you. I guess a lot of people feel icky watching this school shooters TikTok. Yeah, I think the kid handled it well. Did I say it's school shooters TikTok? School shooters viral TikTok about gun prevention sparks outrage. You gotta have an angle on social media, and that's a pretty good one. A convicted school shooter has recently gone viral on TikTok for advocating for school shooting prevention, sparking outrage from many as they call out his crimes and his distressing use of the platform. But he told Newsweek he believes in what he's doing. Do you want to hear the backstory before we watch his TikTok? In 2004, John Romano, a 16-year-old student, opened fire at Columbia High School in East Greensbush, New York, where he wounded a teacher in the leg and spread fear among thousands of children and parents. Romano was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to 20 years in prison. He served a little over 15 years in prison before being released in December of 2020. Since being freed, Romano has taken to TikTok to share his life and more recently speak on school more recently speak on school shooting prevention. I'm for him. Oh shit, that's not even his TikTok. Oh man. There we go.
For the school shooting I committed. My goal is prevention of other school shootings. That's why I'm on here. Shame can tear us down, and it can make us not believe in ourselves ever again. Or, as one of my therapists told me, we can use shame, guilt, and remorse to power us forward, to remind us of what we've done in the past, but to make us believe that we can not only help.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job.
other people and prevent them from ever doing anything like what we've done. And that's what I use my shame for today. Shame. I have a lot of followers in upstate New York, so please be on the lookout for this little girl. She went missing on Saturday up in the Saratoga area at Moreau Lake State Park. Her name is Charlotte Cena. Here's the body cam footage of the man who attacked me with swords being arrested. You can literally see him carrying one of the swords right down the street with him and hear him talking about chopping me up.
Hey, hold up, bro. Hey, you want to put it down? Just put it down so we can talk. Just put it down, seriously. I was having an idea. I was having talking to that person in front of 341. Hang on. Go ahead. Let's see your hands, man. What's going on, man?
Try to white people saying I'm saying racist shit and I don't say it.
I didn't say you were saying racist shit.
On second time. I chopped him up.
Chopped who up?
Guy in there. Chopped everything off of his ass.
Did you?
I chopped his legs, his arms.
507.
The man who attacked me with swords was sentenced last April. Here's a news clip showing what he was sentenced to and what I said to him when I was able to face him in court.
John Romano showed grace and compassion for his attacker today in court and even wished him well. Inside court, Randall Mason was sentenced to 25 years in prison. It's part of a plea deal for attempted
he knows what prison is
Romano was
like.
working at a homeless shelter on Sheridan Ave in Albany in August, on the 29th of August to be exact, when Mason viciously went after him with a sword. He documented his horrific injuries and his recovery on the app TikTok. Romano suffered serious injuries to his arms and legs and was in the hospital for weeks. Today, Romano faced his attacker and had only grace and well wishes for him.
Forgiveness is not about saying I'm forgetting or that what he did.
Yeah, this dude's cool.
Forgiveness is about saying I can move forward with my life and let go of the anger.
Mason said
John seeking peace.
he apologizes to Romano for not controlling his anger. This afternoon, Romano was back at the shelter where he was attacked while working. He says he's not going to let this stop him from doing good in his community.
Damn. Seems like a cool guy. So, don't dig the uproar over him. Here's his TikTok. I'll go follow him when I get the chance. Videos of Romano have garnered attention, causing many, including parents and teachers, to question his use of the platform. His critics allege he is choosing to build his platform off of the trauma he caused. It wasn't that bad. He just shot a teacher in the leg, remember? He didn't actually kill anybody. While seemingly advocating for the prevention of school shootings. In response to the increasing attention Romano has received, teacher, parent, and TikTok user You Can Call Me Kate posted a video sharing her experience as an educator. She said there are people who are never going to feel safe again because of Romano, and that he should not be allowed to have a platform to speak on. I don't like it.
I have gone back and forth over the past couple of days on whether or not I would make this video, but it's important and I want to address it. I'm sure many of you have seen these stitches with the individual who was involved in a 2004 school shooting. He was sentenced to 20 years and did a little over 15. Oh my god, I'm shaking making this.
He served his time.
And clicked on this man's profile.
Seems like he's making amends.
I saw that he follows me. I'm guessing it's from the video I made where I asked 10 teachers what they would do in the event of a school shooting. The caption in my bio says, "Dead kids can't read." If you are unfamiliar with me, I am an early childhood educator and a parent who went from teaching in public school to teaching privately because of gun violence. I could not continue to go to work every day and feel scared that I was going to die. The first time I ever had to tell a group of kindergartners about a lockdown drill changed me. Have you ever looked into the eyes of 27 5-year-olds and told them that they would be okay.
Loki.
You're pretty
Good
sure
evening.
that they wouldn't be. Have you ever thought about using your body as a human shield to protect babies? I drop my 3rd grader off at school every day, and I pray over her.
But see, this is just an emotive
She'll
argument.
make it home from school. That's the reality of living in the United States. And you, sir, are one of the OG school shooters. The only reason...
No. That is also something that a lot of people don't realize. Like, we've been having school shootings in this country before we were a country. Like, it's as American as apple pie. The deadliest decade for school shootings up until the 2010s was the 70s.
Reason you are out walking around as a free man is because no one died. And thank God no one died. But you ruined people's lives that day. There are people who are never going to feel safe again because of you. You say that you want to be part of the solution. Speak privately with psychologists and school counselors so they know what to look for, but you should not have a platform. And
I don't know. He seems like he's trying to do everything like to atone for what he did. And don't we want to encourage that as a society? Because he talked about going and seeing his therapist, right? That was one of the videos we watched. So he has spoke with psychologists and shit. So he knows, what he needs to do. This kind of Karen-y on me. I think we want to. Yeah, he's doing the mature thing. I think you're correct, Snicks. Oh, Florida on here again. Who would have ever thunk it? Who would have thunk it? So this is a hit and run victim went on the run with them. The victim went on the run on the hit and run in Florida. You feel me?
Check it out. We have this brand new video of a wild hit and run in Flagler County. Investigators say that the suspect took off with the victim still on the hood of her car. That blur on the hood of that silver vehicle you see right there, that's a person holding on while that suspect drives through traffic. And Fox 35's Chris Lindsay takes us to the scene.
Deputies say 76-year-old Cheryl Henderson got into an accident near this intersection. I spoke with one of the witnesses who says it was nothing more than a fender bender. Still, when the other driver got out of his car, she drove at him with hers, putting him on top of the hood.
I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Deputies say even after witnesses tried to get her to stop, Henderson kept going with a man hanging onto the hood. You can see her gray SUV fly by on surveillance cameras. The man is blurred though. This went on for nearly 2 miles before deputies caught up to her.
Are you injured?
Henderson told investigators she was trying to stop but couldn't. Neil and Joseph was following her the whole way as she sped down Belterre Parkway. He says at one point she reached up to 50 miles per hour. He was actually one of the ways that deputies were able to catch up. He sort of boxed her in and forced her to come to a complete stop. Shortly after, deputies showed up. Now, Henderson was charged with hit and run and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. She's since been released on bond. Reporting live in Flagler County.
I'm guessing she's just a crazy old lady. How's this crazy old lady have this kind of money? She bonded out. Assault with a deadly weapon. I guess she's in Florida because she retired from somewhere. I don't think it was an electric vehicle. I don't think it was a Tesla.
Chris Lindsay, Fox 35, top of the hood.
I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Deputies say even after witnesses
drunk or had
to stop, Henderson kept going with a man
had pills.
The hood. You can see her gray SUV
medicated somehow.
Cameras. The man is blurred though. This went on for nearly 2 miles before deputies caught up to her.
Are you injured?
Henderson told investigators she was trying to stop but couldn't.
Well, I mean, D. Logie, she definitely didn't go face to face with. She tried to avoid ever seeing his face.
Neil and Joseph was following her the whole way. As
wait. Her shirt say something about like get positive.
Are you injured?
Think positive, be positive.
Henderson told investigators she was trying to stop but couldn't. Neil and Joseph was following her the whole way as she sped down Belterre Parkway. He says at one point she reached up to 50 miles per hour.
He was actually one of the ways that deputies were able to catch up. He sort of boxed her in and forced her to come to a complete stop shortly after deputies showed up. Now, Henderson was charged with hit and run and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. She's since been released on bond. Reporting live in Flagler County, Chris Lindsay, Fox 35 News.
Chris, that is crazy video. Thank you for that report.
Yeah, I bet Florida was cool in like the 60s and 70s. But it was like it had like a Wild West atmosphere. It was the wild swamp. God, I love this show. Oh, the most absurd. It was good before Rick Scott. I would, you know, back before the like touristy took over, all the retirees really started moving down. I think my old ass uncle went down in the 80s or some shit. He lived about an hour outside of Orlando. It was insane. Like in that weird ass town. But we always, you know, went down to like NASA. With the Universal Studios, that shit. Judge dismisses. You're not looking at it. Judge dismisses lawsuit against McDonald's and Wendy's that claim that their burgers looked much bigger in the ads than in real life. The lawsuit said McDonald's and Wendy's overstated the size of their meat. Adverts used undercooked patties to make them look bigger. The judge just dismissed the lawsuit, saying that the plaintiff didn't prove that the ads would likely mislead a reasonable customer. A judge dismissed the lawsuit, filed in May of 2021 by Justin Chimienti, accused the fast food chain of unfair and deceptive trade practices. The lawsuit said that McDonald's and Wendy's both overstated the size of their beef and their adverts for nearly every product, with a particular focus on Wendy's bourbon bacon cheeseburger. I'm not sure I've ever had a bourbon bacon. Say that 5 times fast. Bourbon bacon bubby bumper. Bourbon bacon buggy bumpers. The change. I'm getting slap happy or something. Listen. I don't know why I ordered Taco Bell last night. I just woke up and ordered Taco Bell. Once every 3 months, once every 6 months, I have Taco Bell. I shouldn't have done it because it was $10, you know, just to get it delivered for like my $11 or $12 like meal box. Plus, I got some of the nacho fries, right? I always get whatever the new thing is that they got. I get whatever the rotating fancy fucking thing is, and this time it was rolled chicken tacos with a ranch sauce, and that's why I it's not that I got anything against Taco Bell. It's usually pretty good. It's just like by the time you get delivered the chicken tacos, they were hard. They were hard and chewy. I didn't like them. The ranch sauce was okay. The cinnamon twists were really good, but those don't go bad over time. Cinnamon twists were excellent. I was like, I've never even had these before. These are really good. And then like I ordered one of the like midnight sparkling tea or some shit. It was purple in the ad. It was like just seltzer water when it got here. Like just I didn't know like it could have been a Sprite. But it was tasted horrible. I think it was seltzer. And I fucking threw that shit down the drain. I'm usually like it's not that the Taco Bell was bad. It's just that it's bad after it's been delivered. I didn't even eat the burrito. I left it for like this afternoon as a snack. I try not to eat too, like when I go, I don't want to eat too much of it, right? Because I don't want to flush my system. So keep it in check, especially because I usually cook every meal. Like eating out is a rarity for me. I order pizza once every couple of months. I order Taco Bell once every 3 to 6 months. Ugh. The nacho fries are pretty good. Just started doing food reviews back in like 2010, 2011. I had access to all the equipment at my college. Yeah, the chicken quesadillas that come in the bag thing, like those are always good. And you can like dip those in any sauce, put any kind of I like a fire packet sauce. Ooh, see, that's like the next phase of my life. I want to buy a house and I want to have a garden. I want a garden. I want a fire pit. I want a place to like smoke meats. I might even get a puppy. If I have a yard, I have a puppy. But like I need a partner to go in on that with me. Cause I want fresh peppers and onions. I want to grow everything I can. Garlic. I want an herb garden. Oh my God. I want to be somewhere where it's legal. I want to grow pot. I don't even know if I can garden. My mom can garden, so I assume it's hereditary. I'll find out when I try. Trying to talk to Sparkles. I'm like, let's go buy a house somewhere. Tired of this rent and shit. It's expensive. It's expensive living out here. One person in this economy, come on. The chains used photos of patties that weren't fully cooked to make. Oh, I already did this, didn't I? Fuck this. That's the life right there. That's the life. That's like I was talking about it a couple of nights ago. Like I was like having an existential crisis. Like that's what I got to work towards, but I don't like. You need a partner for that kind of thing, and I gotta have like a platonic partner that I can live with. I don't know, some romantic partner just falls out of the sky somewhere. I've kind of quit looking at this point. I was also never really looking hard. I haven't had a girlfriend since like 2016. The one that worked at Billy Reed that I was talking about earlier. That bought the dress that was like. She could have sewed that herself. Like I was pretty sure she could sew. She also had the picture of her dad in his Klan robe up on the wall, and even though like she was super progressive and it was weirded me out that she had that fucking picture up there. And she had a half black grandchild, which apparently wasn't actually her grandchild. She found out later, but at the time, she had a half black grandchild that she wanted to take out and photograph in the cotton fields. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. And she's like, I photographed all my kids in the cotton fields. Why not photograph my grandchild? I'm like, She's half black. Oh, that's weird, isn't it? In the cotton fields of Alabama. That's not really a good black drop. That's not a good black drop. Cancel Justin. I'm not in pumpkin spice mode yet. I'll get in, just like, okay, I've already done my Halloween graphics and the Halloween opening and everything, but you don't get it until like 2 weeks out from Halloween. And that's like, I'll get a pumpkin spice creamer for my coffee like the 2 weeks before Halloween. It's not quite time yet. I'll get a pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I'll do pumpkin pie several times through the holidays. I love the holidays. For somebody who doesn't have a family per se, I like holiday shit. Need a partner to watch my extensive collection of holiday TV specials. I've seriously got every fucking holiday TV special ever. Sparkles brought the libertarian dude to Thanksgiving that one year, but that wasn't any fun because I think he wanted pussy more than anything. And he didn't want to offend her, so he did not want to talk about politics. So here I am, political streamer guy, fucking prodding him about politics. I don't know. I don't know if I should. I divulge too much all the time. Why not? I'm not even on YouTube right now. So she messaged me the next day. It was like, he smells so bad. And she stopped seeing him after that. Cause he was all right. Like, I had fun with him. He wasn't a bad dude. But she stopped seeing him after that because he smelled. Guys, before you spend the night with a lady, I've got some advice for you.
Life is too short to walk this earth for a crusty asshole. Wash your ass.
Too early. I don't see my buddy Battle Opossum. He's been watching scary movies since September. I'm like, no, it's not scary season yet. Still not real. Last 2 weeks before October, I'll start watching some scary movies. Christmas, I'm the same way. Like, I love some fucking Christmas. I go all out for Christmas shit. Wait till you see my Christmas graphics, my Christmas opening. But we keep that shit in December. I like a psychological thriller, right? Venus, I specifically go out of my way to watch, Halloween-y kind of theme shit. Halloween-y. I think I've got a Halloween movie I haven't seen yet. There's 3 in the new ones, right? There's a new one that I haven't watched. So I watched the other 2. I really liked the last one. Halloween Forever or some shit like that. I don't know. I really didn't want to do this story. I'm gonna save this. Oh, I wasn't gonna be on tomorrow. God damn it. I'm gonna save this for Sunday. Yeah, let's do. We'll go ahead. We'll skip down to Kat Von D got baptized. I don't even really know who she is. It was a couple Like one was like that young trans girl. It's gonna be like it's gonna tug at your heartstrings and shit. I don't wanna do tugging at the heartstrings. I wanna do bullshit right now. Kat Von D shared a video of herself being baptized more than a year after renouncing witchcraft in the macabre. Yeah, like she was like one of the original social media influencers and shit, but like she was on a reality show, or she was married to somebody on a reality show or some shit. Kat Von D, I love that fucking emote. Kat Von D revealed on Tuesday that she was baptized in her local Indiana church. More than a year prior, she renounced witchcraft and the macabre on Instagram. Von D also moved out of California, covered many of her signature tattoos, and closed her studio. This is the video. That's what we want to watch. This is what we came for. So it's kind of like, okay, have any of you guys seen Righteous Gemstones? And Theo Von's character has like 666 Satan on his chest. But he's like a reformed Christian and shit. People do it because they're into the aesthetic, right?
Upon your profession of faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, and in obedience to his divine command, I baptize you, my sister, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Oh, I covered up titties with my graphic. If you tuned in for titties, I apologize. You won't get to see. I can't do the music any longer, so you don't get to see no titties. She did a wet T-shirt contest. Controversial tattoo artist and fashion designer posted the video to Instagram on Tuesday. It shows her and her family partaking at their local Indiana church service. Bundy has shared photos of her family attending church on a few occasions since moving to Indiana. Why would anyone move to Indiana? Why would you willingly live in Indiana? I have been to Indiana. I fucking love Reno 911. So like I've been trying to go back and like watch them all. And I'm probably like halfway through the third season. Cause like, you know, like I would watch it a lot when I was on the road, and I would get like when I get to the hotel at night, like they would be playing nonstop on Comedy Central. But I don't know that I've actually seen them all, so like I download them. I have them all now. I've been going through just watching them, you know, 2 or 3 at a time. The other day, Dangle was like, remember how I said that rapes were down in general population? Or in the holding cell or whatever? Garcia was like, I thought it was odd because every time you walk by, you're like, please don't rape me. I love that show so much. And you see like all the comedians that are like your favorites now. Like when they were young. See Charlie and the Waitress and shit on Reno 911. The woman without her pants. And she lit a cigarette. She offered Dangle a drag. And he took it and she ran off. He's like, it was a trick. Sorry. I love that show so much. Almost as much as Taylor Swift loves Travis Kelce. Is that Bryan Cranston in the crowd too? Or do I just think all white men look alike? NFL forced into embarrassing Taylor Swift U-turn after backlash from fans. Fan backlash has forced the NFL into changing their social media bios after they referenced Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs following a controversial Sunday Night Football. On week 4 of the 2023 NFL season, the biggest narrative throughout the entire campaign has been Travis Kelce, who, like, I didn't know who he was until he hosted Saturday Night Live. Or maybe his brother hosted Saturday. One of them hosted Saturday Night Live. The brother appeared, like they did, sketches together and shit. And they were funny. I was like, oh, he's like actually good at this. Because usually when the sports stars come, they're horrendous on Saturday Night Live. But he was actually really fucking funny. It was probably one of my favorites of last season. But we didn't get to Pete Davidson getting to host because of the writer's strike. Which solidarity. Swift celebrated as Kelce scored a touchdown and enjoyed the experience so much that she was at MetLife Stadium on Sunday night to support him against the New York Jets. This is horribly written. The Chiefs are 2-0 with Swift watching, but fans called out the NFL for getting a bit carried away with the singer. The official NFL Twitter page already had their header God damn it, it didn't load. It doesn't work. This bit went horribly. I'm sorry. The rest of the show was pretty good until I started rambling and getting off track. First 2 hours, good troll patrol. Rest went off the rails. I apologize. I'll take a break tomorrow night. We'll try to get it right on Sunday. So the NFL said the Chiefs are 2-0 as Swifties. That was in their bio. Apparently fans complained and got it removed. The bad look from the NFL. No, it's fucking fun. Have fun with it. He's got a killer mustache. Good on him. Killer mustache, get you some Taylor Swift gash. Live in sexual anarchy, bitches.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Never stop complaining over the dumbest shit. Well, I mean, the media just needs shit to get off on as well. So they exacerbate the bullshit. And then I'm here making fun of the media, making fun of the bullshit, and that exacerbates it even more. Cancel Justin, indeed. He's got a killer mustache, though. I give him props on that mustache. All right. You're gonna love Justin for this one. This is not a cancel Justin. This is a keep watching Justin kind of deal. Buckle up, buggeroos.
34 tense hours ended today with a missing Austin cat returned to her owner. The search for Tux started on Saturday when a Lyft driver drove off with the cat. Early this morning, Tux was found on the side of the road. Her cat carrier was nowhere in sight. CBS Austin's Betty Cross found out how Tux is doing after the long ordeal.
Tux just saw the vet and got a clean bill of health. Palash Pandy says he's relieved that after 34 hours on her own, Tux is feeling good and is back to being her normal, curious self.
She's doing really well, no issues at all. She just had some fleas because she was outside, so they gave like an ointment for that. But other than that, just perfectly healthy. She's
Awesome.
Missing Saturday afternoon. Pandy says he used Lyft to take her to a vet appointment. When he got out and started to walk around the car to get Tux, he says the driver took off with the cat still in the car.
Oh.
Just walking from.
You couldn't contact Lyft?
And just doing that, he started peeling off. I'm running behind him. I'm banging on his doors. I'm banging on his windows. And he just takes off.
Lost cat flyers went up in North Austin, and Lyft put alerts on its app to help find Tux. Early this morning, investigators hired by Lyft found Tux 1 mile from the vet clinic. She was not in her carrier. Pandy thinks the entire situation could have been avoided if the driver had either stopped or not waited hours to answer his messages.
I tried communicating with him every way possible. He did not respond to me. He only called me back once the police called him first.
I got a statement from Lyft this afternoon that said they are working to get to the bottom of the situation and make sure they don't see a repeat. In addition, they say they're going to cover all of Tux's vet bills. If you'd like to read the entire statement, go to cbsaustin.com.
Road, her cat care.
Well, that's good. Fucking good on Lyft. God damn. They paid for a private investigator.
Tux just saw the vet and got...
Tux is awesome. Look how... Oh, she's precious.
Pandy says he's relieved that after 34 hours on her own, Tux is feeling good and is back to being her normal, curious self.
She's doing really well, no issues at all. She just had some fleas because she was outside, so they gave like an ointment.
I got a Tux.
But other than that, just perfectly healthy. She's fine.
Tux went missing Saturday afternoon. Pandy says he used Lyft to take her to a vet appointment. When he got out and started to walk around the car to get Tux, he says the driver took off with the cat still in the car.
My tuxedo looks
one
more like
door
he's got
to the
socks
other.
on.
And just
You're
doing
called
that, he started peeling off. I'm running behind him. I'm banging on his doors. I'm banging on his windows. And he just takes off.
Lost cat flyers went up in North Austin, and Lyft put alerts on its app to help find Tux. Early this morning, investigators hired by Lyft found Tux 1 mile from the vet clinic. She was not in her carrier. Pandy thinks the entire situation could have been avoided if the driver had either stopped or not waited hours to answer his messages.
I tried communicating with him every way possible. He did not respond to me. He only called me back once the police called him first.
I got a statement from Lyft this afternoon that said they are working to get to the bottom of the situation and make sure they don't see a repeat. In addition, they say they're going to cover all of Tux's vet bills. If you'd like to read the entire statement,
he's so heavy.
cbsaustin.com. Betty Cross, CBS Austin News.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. This was...
Oh God, how'd that happen?
It has been very successful for them because they took me off the campaign.
I'm so sorry. That counts as an animal video as well because I showed you a pig. Oh, go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun, but we're you at the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you Sunday night on the Troll Patrol live.